Hello there, Lake County Library. This is Christy Lewis from the Lakeport branch, and today we're going to be talking about a book haul of various diverse genres. So before we jump into it, I just want to let you know that you can order any of these for free from the Lake County Library. You can order several of them on ebook or audiobook, and there are lots of other really cool digital resources as well available on the website. So the website is linked down below in the description. You should definitely check it out. And our first book that we're going to be talking about today is Forever Interrupted by Jenkins Reid. Jenkins Reid is the New York Times bestselling author of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and Forever Interrupted itself earned a Publisher's Weekly starred review. It's following Elsie Porter, who is an average 20-something. On a rainy New Year's Day, she heads out to pick up a pizza for one, and she doesn't expect to meet her future husband, Ben Ross. Their chemistry is instant and electric. Ben cannot even wait 24 hours to ask to see her again. Within weeks, the two are heads over heels in love, and by May, they've eloped. Only 9 days later, Ben is hit by a truck and killed on impact. At the hospital, Elsie must face Susan, the mother-in-law that she has never met and who doesn't even know that Elsie exists. This story interweaves Elsie and Ben's charmed romance with Elsie and Ben's mother's healing process. Forever Interrupted will remind you that there's more than just one way to find a happy ending. It was published by Washington Square Press in 2013, and it's also available on ebook and audiobook. Next, we have Frank Sonnets by Diane Seuss. This is a life in sonnets that won the 2022 Pulitzer Prize in Poetry, the 2021 National Book Critics Circle Award for Poetry, the 2022 PEN/Volkner Award for the Poetry Collection, and the winner of the 2021 Los Angeles Book Times Prize for Poetry. The sonnet, like poverty, teaches you what you can do without. This is one of the sonnets in this collection, and this collection is Diane Seuss's most personal to date. These poems tell the story of Seuss's working-class childhood in rural Michigan to the dangerous allures of New York City and back again. Seuss moves nimbly across thought and time, poetry and punk, AIDS and addiction, Christ, and motherhood. If Frank Sonnet sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. It was published by Grey Wolf in 2020, and it's also available on ebook. Next, we have Thistlefoot by GennaRose Nethercott. In the tradition of modern fairy tales like Neil Gaiman's American Gods and Naomi Novik's Spinning Silver, comes this fantasy saga, a debut novel about estranged siblings who are reuniting after receiving a very mysterious inheritance. And Libba Bray, the best-selling author of The Diviners, says that this reads like a fairy tale godfathered by Neil Gaiman and Tim Burton in a wild America alive with wonders and devils alike. This one sounds just like something up my alley, and I already have it on order. Thistlefoot follows the Yaga siblings who have been estranged since childhood. They have agreed to meet when they're about to receive an inheritance, but that inheritance turns out to be very strange. A sentient house on chicken legs called Thistlefoot. It has arrived from their ancestral home outside Kiev alongside a sinister figure with violent secrets in his past, known as the Long Shadow Man. As the Yaga siblings embark with Thistlefoot on a final cross-country tour of their family's traveling theater show, the Long Shadow Man follows in relentless pursuit, seeding destruction in his wake. If Thistlefoot sounds good to you, you can order it for free. It was published by Anchor in 2022, and it's also available on ebook and audiobook. Next, we have The Passenger by Cormac McCarthy. The Passenger was editor's pick for Best Fiction and Literature, and it's a New York Times bestseller, a New York Times Best Book of the Year from the Pulitzer Prize-winning author of The Road. The Passenger is book 1 of 2, and Volume 2, Stella Maris, is also already available if you decide you can't wait to jump into Volume 2. The Passenger is the story of a salvage driver haunted by loss, afraid of the watery deep, and pursued for a conspiracy beyond his understanding. It is 3 a.m. when Bobby Western zips the jacket of his wetsuit and plunges from the Coast Guard tender into the darkness. His dive light illuminates the sunken jet, 9 bodies still buckled into their seats, hair floating, eyes blank. Missing from the crash site are the pilot's flight bag, the plane's black box, and the 10th passenger. But how? Traversing the American South from the barrooms of New Orleans to an abandoned oil rig off the Florida coast, Passenger is a novel of morality and science, the legacy of sin, and the madness that is human consciousness. And it's set in 1980. If The Passenger sounds good to you, you can order it for free down below. It was published by Knopf in 2022, and it's also available on ebook, audiobook, large type, and on book on CD. Finally, we have The Year of the Puppy by Alexandra Horowitz. The subtitle of this one is How Dogs Became Themselves. NPR's Maureen Corrigan says that what Mr. Rogers is to children, Alexandra Horowitz is to dogs. Her chapters, packed with close observations about canine cognition and behavior, are mini mood lifters. What is it like to be a puppy? Author author of the classic Inside of a Dog, Alexandra Horowitz tries to find out. She spends a year scrutinizing her puppy's daily existence and poring over the science of early dog development. Few of us are present for our dog's critical early development, but in the scientific memoir, Horowitz charts the growth of her own puppy, Quiddity, or Quid for short, from day one to her first birthday. The Year of the Puppy was published by Viking in 2022, and it's also available on ebook. That's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this book haul. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or if you order any of these books. We really love to hear from you. Talk to you next time. Take care.